Welcome back to my Transformers Prime episode reviews. Today, we're taking a look at the episode Project Predacon. In this episode, the Autobots try to prevent the Decepticons from collecting Predacon bones and using them to create an army of Predacon clones.
I think we could even handle some dragon armies right now. Am I right?
This episode begins with Agent Fowler arriving with a new ride.
Prime, what we have here is an experimental all-terrain expeditionary fighting vehicle designed by the finest engineers in our mask division.
Wow, a G.I. Joe reference in the last episode and a mask reference in this one? It's almost like they're trying to build up to a big crossover. Too bad it'll never happen. So, Optimus scans his new alt mode, and we are treated to a new Beast Hunters intro. And no, I'm not redoing my intro again. I don't have time for that. Too many videos to work on. After the intro, we see Ultra Magnus for the first time in his vehicle mode, looking very familiar, maybe with a few additions here or there. When Jackie throws a lobbing ball and nearly kills Miko, he gets chewed out by Ultra Magnus, the Autobots' new second-in-command. Meanwhile, Optimus is checking an Energon mine, and it's kind of funny how Optimus is now too big to fit in the tight hole.
That is what she said.
How rad would it be if you all had jetpacks like Optimus?
Yes, please! RC with a jetpack would be so cute!
Quite rad, Miko.
I don't think I expected to hear Ratchet ever say the word rad. Although, this is apparently the same Ratchet that's in Rescue Bots Academy. And I didn't expect him to bust a move either. Speaking of new looks, Smokescreen arrives to show off his new toy. Color scheme. Sadly, the only Smokescreen figure to actually receive this repaint was his Legion class toy. Not his much better, more show-accurate deluxe Beast Hunters toy. Maybe there's another one for you APC toys. When you eventually get around to doing Smokescreen, maybe you can repaint him into his Beast Hunters blue and yellow. As well as maybe a more G1 accurate repaint. In addition to the likes of Prowl and Barricade. And heck, you might as well go ahead and do Silver Streak, Blue Streak, or Blue Streak repaints just for fun. Also, why is it that Smokescreen gets a new color scheme, but RC doesn't? I want a pink RC! She would look so cute! Pink RC with a jetpack! I'd buy that right now!
Come on! Robots in disguise, right?
Title drop. Oh, wait, that's the next series. Never mind. Hey, is Smokescreen even in Robots in Disguise? Well, I guess I'll find out eventually.
Now you can look your best while stacking those empty cubes.
Stacking cubes? Where's Wedge when you need him? Meanwhile, Optimus finds some Insecticons digging up a Predacon skeleton. Or at least its skull. The kids equate the Predacons to the Transformers version of dinosaurs.
Which means for you guys, running into one would be like us meeting a T-Rex.
Well, I think that's more likely than you may think. After all, this is the aligned continuity, where we have not one, but two different Grimlocks who turn into T-Rexes. Also, it's kind of weird how the Predacons came before the Decepticons in the aligned continuity, where in Beast Wars, the Predacons were the descendants of the Decepticons. So, does that mean that there were Maximals before the Autobots were around? Now that sounds like a good story to me.
So then what were Dinobots?
Totally different.
Wait, Miko's heard of Dinobots? How? Did Bulkhead tell her about Grimlock and his Dinobots from the fall of Cybertron? Or did Optimus finally tell everyone about Griffin Rock, the Rescue Bots, and their Dino modes? So many questions! So many story possibilities! There was also the Rage of the Dinobots and Beast Hunters comic book miniseries. Does this mean that they're in continuity with Transformers Prime?
We could have Beast Wars on our hands.
Oh, if only, Bulkhead! If only! Seriously, could you imagine a new Beast Wars cartoon, but animated by Polygon Pictures? That would look amazing! Oh, wait, that's sort of what Kingdom was, in a way. Still, I would love a new Beast Wars cartoon. Sadly, Predacon is the only beastie we'll get in this cartoon, other than the two other Predacons in the Predacons Rising finale movie. Megatron reveals that he dispatched a small army of Predacon clones to Earth in order to terrorize and eliminate any Autobots stationed there.
Guarding the Energon reserves they had managed to secure while awaiting my arrival.
Now, I forget if this is something that I mentioned in my Rescue Bots review, or if it was just a theory that I had discussed with Emperor Kumquat, but I think the legend about there being an actual Griffin, or Griffins, who once called Griffin Rock home, may actually be true. As Megatron just mentioned, the Predacons guarded Energon caches on Earth as they awaited Megatron's arrival. And what did the Rescue Bots discover under Griffin Rock? A large deposit of Energon. And what do some of the Predacons look like? Griffins! So I think that the legend may have actually been true. There was at some point a Predacon who looked like a Griffin guarding the Energon beneath Griffin Rock. Maybe some of the early settlers or native people spotted the Predacon thinking it was actually the mythological beast, and thus the legend began. What do you think? Did Predacons live in Griffin Rock at some point before eventually dying out? Who knows?
It would stand to reason that Predacons did indeed walk upon this earth in ancient times, as they seem to have been the basis for much of humankind's folklore.
Starscream scoffs at the idea of trying to find Shockwave's lost pets.
You are not suggesting that I would send my creations to a distant planet without first having them microchipped.
Aww, Shockwave is a considerate Predacon daddy. I guess, kind of. They may have died, but at least he can find their remains. Ratchet once again looking into synthetic energon. Let's hope his next batch has less severe side effects than the last one.
The other near the Hebrides Bluffs in Scotland. So don't forget to pack your kilts.
What's a kilt?
Well, you see, Ultra Magnus, a kilt is basically a skirt that boys wear and pretend that it's not a skirt as to not threaten their cis-hetero identity. As for me, I don't really care. Kilts, skirts, both are cute, whether on boys or girls. And I look forward to wearing them myself. Though the forge is depleted of its magical powers, it can still be used as a big old hammer, and Ultra Magnus decides to make it his signature weapon. Smokescreen questions his decision to use the last of the Forge's energy to repair Optimus rather than taking the mantle of Prime. It's a choice that he'll have to come to grips with for the rest of the series. Bumblebee tells Smoke that the reason he hasn't been promoted to Scout is because he wants to receive that honor once they're back on Cybertron, which is exactly what happens in the Predacons Rising movie. The two young bots take out the Vehicons, but Shockwave flees with the Predacon Jawbone. After a lengthy battle, including Optimus and Soundwave joining the fight, ultimately Soundwave proves to be the MVP and ground bridges a piece right into Megatron's open hand. Also, shout out to little itty bitty Laserbeak who managed to down the big bad Optimus. Never underestimate a little bird bot. After all, he did the same to Starscream in G1. Well, that was a pretty great episode of Transformers Prime. Optimus got his new alt mode, we learned some lore about the Predacons, we got all kinds of references to previous and future fiction, and I'm really starting to like Ultra Magnus and Smokescreen. I don't know, maybe it's because I have a thing for blue bots. What about you? What did you think of this episode of Transformers Prime? Let me know down in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that other fun stuff. And I'll see you back here next time for the next episode of Transformers Prime, Chain of Command. Will Optimus get abducted by an alien probe? I guess we'll just have to tune in next time to find out.